Hey everybody, this is Liz Gergel and welcome to my science lab. Today we're going to be doing some very fun experiments, but before we do that we have to go over a few important lab safety rules. Now I know what you're all thinking, why do we have to go over these rules? Well, not only could you be a danger to yourself and the class if you don't follow them, but boy does it get the teacher mad. You don't want to be suspended because you were screwing around. You'll look like a doofus. Anyway, let's get started. The most important rule of all is listen to the teacher. The teacher went to college.
Hi guys, remember to listen to the teacher.
The second rule is we have to wear some very important equipment, such as a lab coat, and eyewear. And always keep your hair tied back. You do not want it getting into any chemicals or a flame. The third most important rule of all is to always know where the safety equipment is. We have a first aid kit, a fire blanket, a telephone, and a fire extinguisher. The phone you could use to call anybody, like the nurse or the principal, if you're having any trouble. Your teacher will probably use that. The fire extinguisher is in case a flame gets out of control. Your teacher will extinguish it. Do not try this yourself. And the fire blanket is if anybody gets hurt from the fire or anything catches on fire. And the first aid kit is for your teacher to use if somebody gets hurt. Always report injuries or accidents. The teacher will not get angry. She will just try to help you. And over here is the sink, which you use to clean up. Okay, so for our first lab, we're going to be studying centripetal acceleration, which is showing how things move in a circular motion. Now you might be wondering, Liz, why did you change your shirt? Well, it's because we can have no baggy clothing in the lab. Anyway, let's get started. Okay, so first, because this risks getting hit in the head if you're not careful, we need to put on our safety goggles. And now we can begin. As you can see, I am spinning the tube above my head. The little rubber stopper is attached to the string. I am studying the change in direction each time the rubber stopper spins. That is called centripetal acceleration. The force I am producing to make it spin is called a centripetal force. That was a great experiment, and also because we followed some good safety precautions. Nobody was in the way, so nobody got hit in the head. And we also wore our safety wear because there was a risk of getting hit. And we also made sure that we didn't horse around, which is very important. Anyway, on to lab number 2. Now, we're gonna do some chemistry. And I know what you're thinking, Liz, why did you change it to an apron? Well, this provides better protection against the chemicals. And we have to always remember to keep the mask on and our hair tied back. So, today we're gonna be using a Bunsen burner flame to show how chemicals can change color when they're heat up, more like metals. But anyway, let's get started. Now let's turn on the Bunsen burner. Step 1, we have to turn the gas on, parallel to the nozzle, and then we strike right away. You do not want gas in the class. So our first chemical that we will be using today is lithium. Now, to get the Q-tip totally saturated, we have to dip it in some water, and then dip it in the lithium. And remember to get rid of any clumps that there may be. And always be careful not to burn the paper part of the Q-tip. If you gotta burn anything, make sure it's the cotton. And now, let's see this magic! When the lithium and the flame from the Bunsen burner interact, it causes a chemical reaction, which changes its properties for good. And now for copper, which has a different colored clumped metal. Lithium and copper have different chemical properties, thus the colors they give off are different. Now wasn't that amazing? Now we have to turn off the gas, put everything away, and wash our hands. And kids, this might take a little while if you're in an actual class, but remember that your health is more important than rushing. Your teacher will not mind, and the apron is also good for protecting your body against water, because sometimes the water jets in the science lab can be very strong because of the eye wash station, in case you get chemicals in your eyes. But that can be avoided by wearing goggles. And do not take off your goggles until the experiment is totally over or your teacher tells you to do so. Because what if you accidentally get something in your eyes during cleanup? And dry your hands thoroughly, because they might get into something if you do something later. And that might cause an explosion if you're working with other chemicals. Those were 2 great experiments, but now it's time for me to go and eat my lunch because there is no food or drink in the lab at all, even water. Because if you eat in the lab, what if chemicals splash into your food? Or you hurt somebody else because you put your drink in the chemicals? Anyway, thanks for watching my science lab, and be sure to tune in for next week. Have a great day, y'all. Now I know what you're all thinking, Liz, why do we have to go over this? We're in 7th grade. Well, and now let's see the magic.
Let's start that.
All right, let's get started. All right.